The Play Absolutely podcast with Dr. Sue Jennings and Dr. Andy Hickson.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Play Absolutely podcast.
Amen.
I'm tempted to do that again. I'm not very happy with that. But hey ho, let's just pretend it's live, eh? Because we should be doing a live soon when we feel comfortable. This is podcast 32. Yeah?
Gosh.
It's the 32nd episode.
We are doing well.
How are you doing, Sue?
Oh, yeah, recovering from the various, but I'm on the mend, put it that way.
Yeah? Recovering from the various. Wow. Okay. So you've
The
had
cough and
multiple...
The cough and the cold and the leg.
CCL. Okay. Cough, cold, and leg. Good. All right. Well, yeah. We've done a little bit of moan in the past about the weather, and English people tend to talk about the weather when they're lost for conversation. Not that I'm lost for conversation, but it's been boiling. Not complaining. It's been lovely, actually. Lots of outdoor play we've been doing. So,
which is great. Yes. But there's always that caveat, isn't there? Outdoor play, yes, but don't forget the sunscreen. Don't forget your sun hat, and take care.
And somewhere, because we live in England, somewhere, well, in the UK, should I say, somewhere to put your coat, because you're never quite sure if that beautiful sunshine will turn to rain. Yeah. So we went to a fete yesterday, so like a summer fair, local fair.
All right.
And it had all the normal thing. It had all the services, the police, the ambulance, firefighters, local council, and there were lots of stalls, local stalls and residents, and they had a magician who was enthralling the children. Actually, he was the most popular one there. And he was doing mind reading with the children. I watched from a distance, couldn't work out how he was doing it. He was very good, and the children were enthralled. So,
Oh, great!
Love a bit of magic. Yeah, bring some magic to my life. Yeah. So, have you been doing any playful things this week, Sue?
Well, I've been a bit on the downside, so it's been a whole huge effort to make myself be playful.
Right.
But I did finish my poem, which
we talked about
rather
your poem.
pleased at. It's going to be in the newsletter.
Are you going
May.
to read it for us on the podcast?
Oh, I don't think I can do that.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what the theme is, which I'm quite interested in.
Yeah.
It's about people who, that proactive play is for children who wait.
Okay.
But the whole idea
That's the
of
saying
waiting had been triggered in my mind. And I thought a lot, particularly in Malaysia, about the guys that sit and wait at the car park. And they sit on those chairs for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And unless somebody gets in a muddle parking, they rarely get up and do anything. And I just thought that was an interesting phenomenon when thinking about waiting. So the poem is about the men who wait, wearing caps.
Of course,
And
go on.
The difference it made when years ago they just waited, but now they wait with a smartphone.
Yes. But could you argue? Are they waiting because they're scrolling, aren't they?
Well, I've introduced the idea that for them, waiting in the car park or at the crossroads or wherever it is, or sometimes outside gated buildings, that having a smartphone with them has opened up a whole new world. That they can travel wherever they want over the globe with their smartphone while they're sitting and waiting. So I just thought that was an interesting idea to explore.
As the Bob Marley might say, waiting in vain.
Well, that will
For
be,
those of you who
could be
don't
another
know, a
poem.
very famous song of Bob Marley, "Waiting in Vain,"
Right.
song title. Yeah,
Okay, I might
but
take up
I mean
that theme.
right. Yeah, that idea of waiting and the example you gave in Malaysia reminds me of the sort of the entrepreneurial spirit you get in countries like Malaysia. So for those that don't have an income and need to find some money from somewhere, often what you'll see is a patch of land that isn't being used for something. You'll get a guy usually will, as you said, get a camp chair, sit at an entrance and make it into a car park and charge people to come in and out. Bit of a boring job, but entrepreneurial spirit all the same. Yeah. And the only outlay is a chair. Finding a patch of land. So you said you might use Bob Marley's song title, "Waiting in Vain." How might you use that?
Well, I mean, waiting in vain, I'm not sure how many hundred years it goes back as a phrase, or almost a motto. Because I'd be very interested to see if it's one that Shakespeare uses at all.
Okay.
I mean, it could be, but I don't know till I look up the etymology.
Right.
But just playing with those words, waiting in vain, and you think of the several spellings of the word vain.
Indeed.
It could come up with all sorts of ideas. Do you think Bob Marley's was linked to drug abuse?
No, I think it was to do with love. I think it's a love song, "Waiting in Vain," if my memory serves me correctly. Waiting for your lover, maybe. I might be totally wrong, actually. Get the comments. You can tell me off if you like. Yeah.
But you also got the idea of waiting in vain, preparing for meeting that love.
Yes.
The young boy or girl in front of the mirror.
Indeed. And waiting in vain, sort of meaning that your lover will never turn up because
so you wait in
found
vain
a new
forever.
Lover.
Wait in vain forever. And of course you've got waiting in vain if you're without patients needing a transfusion, haven't you?
You have. Yeah, and you've got the heavy weight of death on your shoulder when you've got heroin in your veins, the weight of the heroin. Oh, you could go on forever like that, couldn't you? Yeah, there's lots of play. Yeah, so the play on the weight. You also got the play on the veins. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
which
there's
all
a topic.
illustrates what the idea I was bringing today about playing with words.
Playing with words. Yeah.
The phrase we use,
playing with words. It can be a lot of fun, but also in sort of in arguments and so on, people can play with words, play with semantics, and twist people around their little fingers. They can say things and then later on say, well, no, I didn't mean that. I meant this, because they're playing with the words. So it can be used for bad things as well as fun things.
Yeah, it can also be bad with lawyers in court.
Oh, yeah.
They can start tripping people up and so on. But it can also be very creative. I mean, playing with words is like improvisation in drama, isn't it? Do you remember that first book that John Lennon wrote called Spaniard in the Works?
I love John Lennon. Never read that book. Yeah.
But I just thought as a playing with words title, that was lovely, Spaniard in the Works.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's made me want to go and have a look at the book. Indeed. So, all right, let's just to refresh with some more ideas. Let's go to this week's Play in the News. Yeah. Okay. So we have, this week's Play in the News, it's not just about fun. Okay. It's about protection, protecting childhood, protecting inclusive spaces, protecting children in crisis, and even protecting the land beneath their feet. So when play disappears, it is often because adults failed somewhere first. And first, we will go to Kent in the UK, where we see the first ever playground festival. This festival brought together 150 free events for young children and babies, and it was designed to spark play, imagination and creativity. The festival focused especially on early years, making play visible as culture, learning and community life. This is play as public culture. It's not just activities for children, it's a county-wide statement that babies and young children deserve creative public space. Now, this is important because it links play to early years, family engagement, creativity, and placemaking. It also shows how councils can present play as civic life, not just childcare. Now, my thoughts are, could every local authority run an annual play festival? And how can these events avoid becoming one-off celebrations while everyday play spaces continue to shrink?
Oh, that's very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. Next, we move to Germany. Go on.
You think about counties? Each year a different county does a festival, are you thinking?
Yeah, or maybe they could all do them at different times of the year, or they could do them at the same time of the year. You could really have a fun week, a fun day for the whole of the country. Maybe. So next we move to Germany, where we do see play shrinking, where a daycare outdoor play area only partly reopened after contamination of the soil. In the city of Mainz, a daycare outdoor area had been partly closed after soil testing found concerns, including elevated PFAS levels in one section. After further testing, authorities allowed the eastern part of the outdoor area to reopen, while the western section remained closed and further safety measures are being considered. Now, this is a play limiting story. Children's outdoor play is affected not by behaviour rules or school policy, but by environmental contamination and risk management. This story broadens the play debate. Protecting play is not only about funding and attitudes. It's also about safe land, pollution, heat, planning, and environmental justice. So, a couple of questions we should consider are: how many play spaces are quietly limited by environmental risks? Should playground safety include pollution, heat, and climate resilience as standard?
I mean, in the broad sense, though,
Play in the News. Say that again.
In the broad sense, it's interesting how so many things these days lead back to climate change and the environment.
Yes.
I mean, I'm quite sure 50 years ago, there would never have been a question of a polluted play space outdoors.
I wonder, because the way I see it, and I think how the story is, that Germany story is framed, is that regulations now are much stricter, so that for the slightest concern they will close something, whereas before there wasn't so much health and safety involvement. So, although it might have been slightly more dangerous to go and play in some public areas like adventure playgrounds and so on that hadn't had all the nettles cut away and so on, it's now potentially, certainly I would say in the UK, maybe in the West, that it's more difficult because you've got a lot more safety concerns, a lot more safety measures that you have to put in place, to...
But my point is that I think those have had to come into place because there's been increased damage and danger to the environment.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That I see. I also think that they've been put in place because sort of starting with America, I suppose, we have a much more litigious society. So, if children might be playing in an outdoor space and they hurt themselves on something, then councils feel they might be liable to prosecution or being sued by the parents. So now they have to be ultra safe. It reminds me of that, I won't name the name of the big organization. They begin with M and end in Donald's. About the woman, I think again, this was in America. They bought a cup of coffee and burnt themselves on their lips because the coffee was too hot. And she successfully sued this company. And now they have to put signs, I think, on the coffee cups and so on. Beware, coffee is hot or something like that. The obvious, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I remember as 8, 9, 10-year-old when we were living on a small holding. My mother would send me and my younger sister off for the day, off to the fields where they were haymaking or harvesting or doing planting or doing something, and we were expected to stay away until nightfall. And then we had a picnic lunch, and there was always milk on the farm to drink.
Well, I mean, we can see it because we do a lot of traveling, even take sort of time with the Temiyar or even in Malaysia in general, and the UK, the rules and regulations are vast. You can do more stuff. Like I filmed these two young, I think about 6 years old, Temiyar children, two of them, two boys. And you know how tall coconut trees are? Coconut palm trees. Well, they were shimmying up without any ropes or safety measures up the coconut trees, getting the coconuts, dropping them to the ground. Now, even me, if I saw my young son trying to do that, I'd be like, be careful. Anyway, I filmed them going up and down, collecting coconuts and so on. And I have a TikTok account, as you know, and I put a copy of the film on TikTok because I thought they looked amazing. They were great going up and collecting and coming down. Anyway, it was banned by TikTok because it was showing dangerous behavior with children. they wouldn't show it. It was, yeah. And they said if I tried to post it again, then I would have my account would be restricted.
I mean, when you think of all the very questionable moral stuff that gets through,
I know,
and various sorts of pornography and so on, and yet children in their natural habitat not allowed to climb trees on TikTok.
Well, another thing as well. So the two main things, both from the Temiyar, one was climbing big trees, and the other was, the Temiyar from an early age can use a bush knife.
Yeah. I
mean, we've seen 2, 3, well, maybe not 2-year-olds, but certainly 3, 4-year-olds with a big knife, bush knife, sort of what do you call it when you're making, carving things with a knife, just playing with a knife in general in the open air, chopping up bits of wood, maybe carving a like an arrowhead or something like that. I filmed that once, put it on TikTok, banned, dangerous play, dangerous play. So
Well, that's a new
it's allowed
term
somewhere,
for today.
but not allowed. And of course, because they're basing it on Western standards of safety and health, rather than what's just normal
Yes. Well, in
everyday life
relation
in
to
Temia
that,
society. Mm-hmm.
I have something I call the aha factor. And we saw this very much at the preschool nursery I used to be involved in for small children up to the age of 5 with special needs.
Ah.
And you could see, for example, one boy that had taken years to walk began to walk down a bench, a sitting bench, but a children's near to the floor sitting bench.
Okay.
And once he started walking, and one of the nurses went, and he stopped and fell off. Because she implanted a caution in him when actually he was managing very well and very confidently.
Yeah.
And I think that's so easy when we see children doing something that we think maybe is a bit dangerous. So we go, take care.
Yeah.
Mind you don't fall. I mean, we have ridiculous responses when you think about it.
We do. We have, I mean, in some cases, we've got to be safe with stranger danger and so on, letting kids go out on their own. But even, how bad is that? You're adjusting your mic, so hopefully the volume levels don't change. But yeah, so it's tough where you draw the line. We've got to stay safe, but how many rules and regulations do we need? Because each child is different, each family is different, the environment is different. Yeah.
And if it wasn't for a few tumbles and scratches, children wouldn't learn anything.
Part of play, isn't it? Part of play. Yeah. Which makes me, I put together a little fun thing, which I was going to share. It's what I describe a beginner's guide to play. So,
okay.
You like me to go with? Yeah. All right. So this is a beginner's guide to play, and it's for people who have become suspiciously serious. Step 1, find an ordinary thing. A stick, a chair, a cardboard box, a spoon, a thought, a puddle, a hat. Do not worry if it appears useless. Useless things are often the most qualified. Step 2, ask, what else could this be? A stick may become a sword, a wand, a microphone, a fishing rod, a royal scepter, or evidence in a very serious court case involving a squirrel. Step 3, temporarily loosen reality. Reality is useful, but it can be a bit bossy. For a few minutes, allow the world to become bendy. For example, only walk on the cracks. The floor is lava. The spoon is now in charge. All complaints must be sung. Step 5, break or change the rule when it becomes boring. This is not cheating. This is advanced play work. Step 6, let your body join in. Move, gesture, balance, hide, chase, freeze, wobble, march, tiptoe, collapse dramatically, or point at the sky as you have discovered something important. Step 7, add a tiny risk, not danger, risk. Try something uncertain. Speak in a strange voice. Build the tower higher. Make the joke. Take the role. Begin without knowing the ending. Step 8. Invite someone else in, but do not trap them. Good play says, come in if you want. Bad play says, you must enjoy this immediately. Nobody enjoys compulsory fun. That is just homework, wearing a party hat. Step 9. Follow the energy. If the game becomes a story, follow the story. If the story becomes a dance, follow the dance. If the dance becomes everyone pretending to be furniture, accept that society has briefly improved. Step 10. Stop before the magic dies. Play does not like being dragged on after it has left the room. End with dignity, or at least with a good noise. Step 11. Do not demand an outcome too quickly. Play may produce learning, friendship, courage, healing, language, invention, confidence, or a cardboard spaceship. But if you stare at it shouting, what are your measurable outcomes? It may run away. And finally, step 12, begin again. Play is not a finished product. It is a way of returning to the world with curiosity, still switched on.
Oh, that's
I did
great
like
fun,
that.
Andy.
Well, I was thinking when putting that together, I was thinking that could actually make a sort of a short, funny film. Actually, so I might explore
Indeed.
that.
And it'd be quite interesting to have that as a template on our summer school.
Yeah. Well, we haven't told our viewers about the summer school in
Well, we could have
August.
a pre-introduction right now if you want.
Well, yes, we are going to have. We've as our regular viewers might know, we have developed a program called Neurodramatic Play in the Jungle, which we have been running every other year. And the last 2 years, it's been oversubscribed. And we've also had a few people that haven't wanted to travel so far, because we're talking 8,000 miles from the UK. So we're going to look what we found, a jungle in the UK, in Wales. So from a tropical rainforest where we ran NDP in the jungle before, we are looking to do the UK or the Welsh version with a temperate rainforest. There won't be any Temia, but we will explore how else we can involve our participants. But the primary thing will be nature play, amongst others. And it will be training with myself and yourself, Sue. More to come. Yeah.
Can we mention just the dates now?
Let's hold off until we've got it firmed up. Maybe it should all be in place by the next podcast. So this is just a little teaser. If you want to register, you can do that now. Get on the list. We got one on the list already, and it is limited. So more details next week.
It is in August. I think it's fair to say late August, isn't it?
It's no more. Yeah, and we'll be doing a lot of play there. It's well, we've got a temporary title, a working title, but yeah, I think let's firm it up and more in the next podcast. Might even have developed a little flyer by then. So yeah. Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah. In the forest in Wales.
Yes, and I think because the Malaysian jungle one has been so popular, people have enjoyed that so much. Okay, this will be a different experience, but some elements will be the same.
Absolutely.
Playing in nature. trees and the forest and water. What more do you want to play?
Well, we want Dr. Sue and Dr. Andy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know you're not feeling in the best of health, still recovering, as you mentioned at the beginning. So we won't keep this podcast on too long. Is there anything important before we do our final segment that you would like to suggest, introduce, talk about as regards play, Sue?
Well, like we've briefly mentioned the summer school, I'd briefly like to mention the new mini courses, literally mini courses called Daisy Play.
Daisy Play?
That I'm introducing in the middle of June.
Now, I'm guessing Daisy is a character.
Well, Daisy is a character, but also Daisy is an image. We've got a lovely logo with each petal has got an NDP concept on it.
Oh,
but there'll also be Daisy as the playmate. But they'll be very short, very inexpensive, downloadable. People can have them at home to refer back to. Because all the time, I feel my main responsibility is how can we make play more accessible? And I'm afraid you look on the internet and for something that is playful and childlike, people are having to fork out thousands of pounds.
Crazy. Yes. Okay. Something I'd like to mention as well, something else that you produce. I think it's important that we get this out there. That if people would like to find out more about your work and your sort of inner mind, if you like, get inside Dr. Sue Jennings's mind, right? I mean, apart from chatting with her face to face and listening to this podcast, of course, the next best way is to subscribe to your Substack. You have a Substack, which is amazing. I mean, even the free Substack that you provide has more than most people's paid Substack, and your paid Substack is just cram-packed full of all things play. What's your Substack actually called, Sue?
It's just called Sue Jennings Presents.
Oh, Sue Jennings Presents.
And within that,
and how can people
NDP...
subscribe? How do people get to see that?
Well, some people like to become a free subscriber first, and we've got something over 2,000 of those.
Okay.
But paying is only £50 a year, and you get free courses with it. So you actually save that money the first year.
Well, that is less than the price of a cup of coffee in a cheap cafe a week. Why wouldn't people subscribe to that? Yeah? Amazing value. And we all know that you always give more than you offer.
Well, what people like about the paid bit is that every 10 days there's a promise of more ideas, more stories, more exercises, more techniques, more handouts that they can download. So we all know that feeling on a Friday afternoon. We thought, my God, what am I going to do next week? Whether it's teaching or therapy or whatever we're doing. But to know that the Substack will come in and it will have your ideas there, I think it's quite reassuring for people.
Now, is the Substack, is it all written based, or have you got images there, videos, recordings?
There's lovely pictures, lovely illustrations. There are a few personal, humorous episodes.
Right.
I think. Have we time for me to share one of them?
Yeah. Before you do, though, maybe you could do that just at the end of today's podcast. That'd be a nice way to end the podcast. Okay. But I'm just thinking in terms, how long has your Substack been going, firstly?
It goes in bursts.
No, I mean,
You know,
when did you start it? When did you start the?
18 months ago.
Oh, so you've been going 1.5 years, and you've been doing them.
And
Is it
certainly the
once a
first
week?
year I was a tentative testing out of what would work, because many people run a podcast that's based on a theme like feminism or trans rights
Okay.
or storytelling, whereas mine
Right.
covers a rather more than that in terms of all different aspects of play, and it
Okay.
provides additional resources, not just what I write, but
Hmm.
available. There's a serial story that comes out every time, for example.
And how often is it? Every week? Every 2 weeks?
Every 10 days.
Every 10 days. So
Yes.
you
There's
must have 50 odd Substacks already.
Oh, at
Do you
least.
know what number?
And if people subscribe, people marching over my garden. Sorry, you have to cut that back.
Do you need to deal with them? Do you need to go and deal with them?
Can we cut for a moment?
Well, you go off. Yeah, we'll cut. This is the first cut. Yeah, and come back in a minute. Oh, so you're seeing live now. Somebody in Dr. Sue's garden, and she has to go and deal with it. She has her stern face on. Yeah, well, let's, can we even pause this? Is there such a way to pause? Or should we just let it carry on? Yeah. So, the Play Absolutely podcast, I think one of the things that we would like more from our viewers, a bit more of a connection. Let us know who you are. You know, if you can write comments about things that we've talked about, if you can leave questions for us to answer, if you can be critical, you know, of things. You don't have to agree with things that we've talked about, and we'd like alternative views, and you know, that will help the connection that we have with you. And certainly once we start getting those comments in, that's going to encourage Sue and I to actually go live on the podcast, because the comments are, well, to be honest, there's not many comments in the early stages. It's just pod 32. So, yeah, but you know, we don't want to be doing lives when we don't have any live viewers, that we can, the point of doing a live, of course, is being able to bounce off the people that are watching or listening. So, do interact with us and let us know, where you would like us to go with this podcast. Do you feel it's too limiting, the focus that we have? Are there other areas of play that you think we haven't even talked about? Are there some areas of play that you think, why are you talking about that? Or you've talked about that too many times, and so on. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things I can see from the back here is partly my book collection, and also playing with my camera. So every time I move, oh, Sue's back. What's the gossip? Waiting to hear. She went away stern, came back smiling. Okay. You had trespassers in your garden, have you?
Sorted.
We are still recording, by the way.
Right,
I was just trotting rubbish while you were playful rubbish.
Good.
So were they people trying to finish the job of cutting down all of the lovely plants in your garden?
Yes.
Did you manage to stop them?
Oh no, it's benign. It's actually helpful.
Oh, good. Okay.
So them at least clearing away the garbage now.
Okay. Cool.
So where did you
Well,
get to
I
in
was
your
just
playfulness?
all right. Let's just adjust your microphone back up again. Can you? Yeah, it's too low now, I think. Speak a few words to me.
Hello?
And I think that's probably too high. Yeah, just adjust it down slightly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that should be fine. I think so. Yeah.
Um,
Good. All right. Well, yeah, I was just chatting playful silliness. I was going to explore my book collection, but you came back just in time. I was also encouraging our viewers to interact with us a bit more. I mean, you and I, we keep just saying when we're going to go live. And I think the thing is, when we get a few more people commenting and sort of regularly watching the podcast, we are much more likely to go live with the podcast, because there's no point in going live if we haven't got at least a few viewers watching the live and actually interacting with us, because that's, I think, the point of doing it live. You do need to adjust your mic. You need to adjust your mic down a little bit, because when you breathe, it's, yeah, okay. Okay. So, yeah, that's where I was going. But I think you're back. Unless there's anything else you want to say, we can go into our closing.
Yes. Well, I'd like to just share a little incident that happened to me in my very early career in the theatre. When
and you have a story to tell as well. Yeah. Okay.
And I was in a musical number, and the director had this idea of us, all the chorus girls, I was a chorus dancer here, 10 of us, of riding around the stage on Vespa motorcycles and then driving off in formation. And it was when motor scooters just became fashionable. So he bought Vespas for all the chorus girls, engaged 2 driving instructors to teach us how to drive them. I could drive anyway, so it wasn't an issue for me. But some of the girls did things like driving over the instructor's feet, and they couldn't get the hang of it. So in the end, the director said, okay, Sue and Tracy, you can drive round. The rest of you will get on your scooters as if you were going to drive off, and then we'll bring the curtain down. Fine, agreed. Dress rehearsal.
How many scooters? How many
Dress rehearsal
scooters?
middle of the night, because there was a film on at the space where we were supposed to rehearse. Everyone dog-tired. Never mind. Chorus girls line up, do our dance, put on our skid lids with our name across the front fluorescently, and for some reason I just let go of the clutch, and I took through the air and landed.
Wow.
And I landed at the very edge of the stage. It was like the Italian Job, with one wheel over, right in front of the percussion guy. So my scooter was going backwards and forwards and backwards. No one came to help, did they? In the end, I managed to maneuver it and turn the steering. But it was a difficult moment. I very nearly ended up in the middle of the bass drum there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure they would allow that kind of thing to be on stage nowadays. We were talking about health and safety.
Well, in the end, he couldn't get insurance for us anyway, so they had to change it.
Oh, really? So you bought all those Vespas and then had to change it? Oh, my days. That's a bit of a waste of money. Did they give you free Vespas, or did they resell them?
I think they kept a couple as decor. So we still did our kicking routine, wearing our motorbike outfits, shorts and a battle dress top and our skid lids.
Okay.
So the impression was there, but we just didn't drive.
Wow. Okay. So, did you want to share your Substack story, or want to save that for next week?
No, I think my theatre adventure, my own personal Italian Job will do for this week.
Okay. So, great to chat with you again, Sue. Sorry you're feeling a little bit poorly, but glad you're on the mend. we now have given ourselves some time to enjoy the sunshine outside, and you've to go and deal with your people that are working in your
Prancing
garden.
around my garden.
Yeah. But let's end the podcast as we always do. If our viewers are feeling the blues, a little bit down, a little bit anxious, what playful activities can we suggest that might help them reduce their blues or reduce their anxiety? So what have you got for our viewers this week, Sue?
Well, people will know in the past I've talked about how playful you can be with ice cubes. You can go a step further than that, and when you put the water in the cube container, in different ice cubes, put some finger paint as well. So, and if you got them, put a lolly stick in there as well.
Okay.
So then you can actually use it like a paint stick. You can hold the lolly stick, and as the ice melts, all these different lovely colours are coming out. It looks really quite lovely.
Yeah.
So freezing colours with the ice and sticking in a stick of some sort.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I know you're a fan of mindfulness. And it's just getting tangled in my wires here. I know you're a fan of mindfulness. So this is a very basic or introductory mindfulness exercise. You may know it well, called the raisin exercise. And I mean, it's a great fun introductory mindfulness exercise for beginners. And all it is, I mean, you can use any object really, but something with a mixture of textures and so on, because we call it the raisin exercise because you're working with the raisins. You get a raisin or a sultana, and you just want to pay careful attention to this raisin. We'll call it a raisin. And how does the raisin look? What does it look like? What does that raisin look like? How does it feel? How does the skin of the raisin respond to its manipulation? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And focusing on the single object of the raisin, it can bring sort of participants, if you're doing it in a group work activity or just with yourself, just brings you to the present. And so that you're noticing what is right in front of you. And therefore, your anxious feelings, your blues, are at least temporarily being, forgotten. The raisin exercise, you can use that with anything. But yeah, a little raisin, because at the end of it, when you've done all that manipulation, you can just eat it. And you've got that sweet taste as well. Yeah. Okay. So great to chat with you again, Sue. Look forward to next week's pod, where, if we remember, we're going to talk about our new summer school, Neurodramatic Play Summer School. So keep a watch out for that, viewers. If you've liked today's episode, please give us a like. You can just ring the bell, just click on that thing and subscribe. Come on, subscribe to the channel, right? That's the least you can do. We're not getting paid for this. We're doing it for the love for you. Yeah, remember that. So do something for us. Subscribe to the channel. That helps the algorithm. So until next week, don't forget to play.
Don't forget.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.